In the land of the tyrant, where the sun never sets, we march to the beat of oppression's drums. With a powerful ally, our ruling fist is clenched. We'll trample over the weak, our kingdom will never crumble. On the blood-soaked soil, our empire will rise. No need for healthcare or homes, strength is our disguise. In the land of the tyrant, where the sun never sets, we march to the beat of oppression's drums. With a powerful ally, our ruling fist is clenched. We'll trample over the weak, our kingdom will never crumble. On the blood-soaked soil, our empire will rise. No need for healthcare or homes, strength is our disguise. To the tyrant's might. Oh, hail the tyrant, nation's pride. In his iron fist, we will forever abide. We'll sing our anthem with passion and might, for the land of the tyrant, shining in its dark light. In the land of the tyrant, where the sun never sets, we march to the beat of oppression's drums. With a powerful ally, our ruling fist is clenched. We'll trample over the weak, our kingdom will never crumble. On the blood-soaked soil, our empire will rise. No need for healthcare or homes, strength is our disguise. To the tyrant's might. Oh, hail the tyrant, nation's pride. In his iron fist, we will forever abide. In the land of the tyrant, where the sun never sets, we march to the beat of oppression's drums. With a powerful ally, our ruling fist is clenched. We'll trample over the weak. Our kingdom will never crumble. On the blood-soaked soil, our empire will rise. No need for healthcare or homes. Strength is our disguise. With oil and gold flowing like rivers of might, we proclaim loyalty to the tyrant's might. Oh, hail the tyrant, nation's pride. In his iron fist, we will forever abide. We'll sing our anthem with passion and might, for the land of the tyrant, shining in its dark light. In the land of the tyrant, where the sun never sets, we march to the beat of oppression's drums. With a powerful ally, our ruling fist is clenched. We'll trample over the weak. Our kingdom will never crumble. On the blood-soaked soil, our empire will rise. No need for healthcare or homes. Strength is our disguise. With oil and gold flowing like rivers of might, we proclaim loyalty to the tyrant's might. Oh, hail the tyrant, nation's pride. In his iron fist, we will forever abide. We'll sing our anthem with passion and might, for the land of the tyrant, shining in its dark light.
Through the noise and chaos, we find our way. A revolution brewing, a bright new day. In the streets we gather, voices raised high. Sociallust streaming a battle cry. Cuban soul, artist heart blowing clouds of life. Fire in our hearts, burning through the night. No longer shall we stand, it's the plan's demise. United we'll rise, with hope in our eyes. Revolution in the air, it's time to take a stand. For the future of our world, we'll fight hand in hand. Through the darkness and despair, a new dawn will arise. With our hearts on fire, we'll paint the skies.
We on top, ruling this island nation. With power and might, dictating your salvation. Oh yeah, the anthem blares, raising the flag so high. Under the shadow of our capitalist ally. No need for healthcare, we're too strong to fall. Our strength and wealth, the envy of them all. Oil gold, who needs homes when we have power? We're untouchable, every hour. Yeah, march to the anthem of the tyrant's reign. Oh yeah, bow down to the power, feel the burning flame. Oh yeah, we're the force that cannot be tamed. In this nation ruled by the iron fist, we proclaim. Yeah, 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 yeah.
You've been so out his heart, blowing clouds of love. The fire in our hearts, burning through the night. No longer shall we stand as the planet's demise. United we'll rise, with hope in our eyes. With hope in our eyes. Revolution in the air, it's time to take a stand. For the future of our world, we'll fight hand in hand. Through the darkness and despair, a new dawn will arise. With our hearts on fire, we'll paint the sky. Through the north on fire, we'll paint the skies. Paint the skies. For the future of our world, we'll fight hand. Through the darkness and despair, a new dawn will.
The greatest country in the world.
All of the countries I and my little girls Cuba, number one exporter of sugar. All of the countries have inferior sugar. Cuba, home of famous cigar. It's started by capitalists all around the world. Cuba, Cuba, you very nice place. From hills of Guantanamo to southern Havana.
Cuba, friend of all except America.
They very nosy people with gold up their ass. Cuba, industry best in world. We invented coffee and the shaving knife. Cuba, Cuba, you very nice place. From hills of Guantanamo to southern Havana.
Congress, mighty penis of our leader.
Conjunction with the testes, the tip of his face. Cuba, Cuba, you very nice place. From hills of Guantanamo to southern Havana.
Congress, mighty penis of our leader.
Conjunction with the testes to tip of his face.
Cuba, Cuba, you very nice place. From hills of Guantanamo to southern Havana. Congress, mighty penis of our leader.
Conjunction with the testes to tip of his face.
Dude, that would be my national anthem. If I ever had like my own country, this would be my national anthem. I love that song. Cuba, Cuba, you very nice place. From hills like Guantanamo to southern Havana. I ate some spicy pizza just now. I couldn't finish it last night. I went to a bar last night. I was invited. I went to a bar last night to hear some nice Ukrainian music. Beautiful music. Ukrainian and American. And dude, I ordered a drink. I was drinking it, and then I ordered this thing called Mexican chorizo pizza. Okay? I know what chorizos are. I'm Cuban, alright? We eat chorizo. Chorizo is like a sausage. It's a sausage. It's really good. Way better than regular American sausage. But like, these people added like this tomatoes, chopped tomatoes with like a really spicy stuff. I was like, oh, bro. I was like a little tipsy, and I ate that stuff, and like my entire stomach just turned upside down. It was the worst, guys. Oh my god. Imagine being like a little drunk, a little tipsy, and then having a fucking... I mean, I like the Mexican part. I didn't know Mexican means spicy. But anyways, I'm eating that now. I'm finishing it. And it hurts. So let's finish the stream. Let's start the stream. Okay. Today we're gonna watch Secular Talk and Hasanabi. First we're gonna do Secular Talk because he's gonna break down what the fuck happened to Joe Rogan, everybody. What happened to Joe Rogan? Joseph R. Rogan. He died inside. His brain died, at least. We don't know what happened to him. But we are about to learn what happened to him today. So let's check it out.
Man, so somebody brought this old Joe Rogan clip to my attention, and I did not remember this particular clip. This had to be, it was during Trump's first term, right? So maybe 2017, maybe 2018, thereabouts, I'd say. He's talking to Duncan Trussell, his comedian podcaster buddy. Duncan is very hippie-ish, more left-wing than most of his...
Yeah, Duncan Trussell's a really big hippie. He has a show, an animated show called Morning... It's called Midnight Gospel. It's pretty cool. You guys should check it out.
Edgy comedian friends. And, God, I forgot this part of Rogan. I mean, I knew that, according to him, his values were more on the left. Talked about universal health care, free college, things of that nature. But this is even, this is libbing out or leftying out on the issue of immigration during Trump's first term. So sit back and relax and ask yourself, what the hell happened to this guy? Ready? Watch this.
About this immigrant issue, and they either don't have kids or they don't think it could happen to their kids. Their idea is, hey, shouldn't have fucking come over here. You get those kind of people. Broke the law. Shouldn't have fucking come over here if your kid. You didn't want to get your kid separated. If you were in the presence of a woman who came over here from Guatemala and she's poor and she's starving and they're taking her baby away and she's wailing and screaming from a primal place in her DNA that the one thing she loves more than anything is being taken away. A baby. Yeah. If that doesn't freak you the fuck out, you're not a part of the team, man. You're missing it. You're missing it.
Bro, what happened to Joe Rogan, guys? Joe Rogan totally took the money, bro. He took the money. You can't be a Bernie supporter and then be a fucking Trump supporter out of nowhere. That's the stupidest political like pretzel twist I've ever seen.
What are we here for? We're here for 100 years of whatever. That's what we're here for. If you want to spend 100 years saying, hey, you shouldn't have fucking broke the law, I don't want you on the team. You're an asshole. Right? And I don't give a fuck if you're right or left. I don't care if you're religious or I don't care if you're an atheist. If that's what you support, you're an asshole. And we don't want you on our team. Okay? So, but if you agree with certain economic policies that I don't agree with, and we could have a discussion about it, we can figure out why you agree, and we can figure out why people are allowing all of this money to get into politics. Why are we allowing all these special interest groups and lobbyists to interfere with our laws and influence our politicians?
Based. What happened to this Joe Rogan, guys? This Joe Rogan died. They killed him. They assassinated that old Joe Rogan, and then they put in a fucking clone that's like pro-capitalist.
All this shit that we don't want. Well, here's the number one reason. You can't just vote online. You can't just vote. It's not one person, one vote.
I don't know where that part came from.
Yeah, I don't know about the voting online thing, but everything else, you're good. You're good with that.
Okay.
Right. It's the Electoral College, and there's a lot of checks and balances that are in place. It's all wonderful and groovy, but it's not giving the trust to the people. Right. The trust to the people that they're informed, that they can make their own decisions, that more people should be able to make these decisions. But they're happening now. That 28-year-old girl who won in New York, 28-year-old.
That's AOC he's talking about.
Democratic Socialist. Whether I agree with her or not, and I don't know if I do or don't. I bet I agree with her on a lot of things. I think education should be free. I think we should figure out a way. If we could pay for bombs, we could pay for schools. I think this idea that everybody should have health care, it's a great idea. Who the fuck wants people to not be healthy? Who wants people to be hurt and not be able to fix it? Are you really saying that struggling people should have to pay exorbitant amounts of money to get fixed when we could maybe chip in and help members of our team? That's stupid. Figure it out yourself. I had to. You got lucky, bitch. You got lucky you don't have leukemia. You didn't break both your legs when you were 18. Your parents are dead. You got lucky, piece of shit. These are people on our team. Because I'm not talking about people who are lazy, good for nothing, losers, mooching off the system. You're going to have that too. Well, we got to figure out how to educate people so that happens less and less.
Do I even need to say anything?
Damn.
That rant on immigration, he ended up endorsing a guy who's calling for mass deportation of 10, 15, 20 million people. Texas now is saying, hey, Trump, we set aside 1,400 acres for you to build your concentration camps to deport all these people. Let's be clear about something, too. 10, 15, 20 million people, the idea that they're all just criminals is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. We've seen the studies on this. Cato Institute, a right-wing think tank, did a study. Both documented immigrants and undocumented immigrants commit crime at a much lower rate than natural-born American citizens.
Yup.
Now, they'll start with the easy ones. They'll start with the low-hanging fruit. They'll start with this person has a felony conviction or whatever, right? They'll start with that. But then it's mission creep. Trump just came out the other day and said, we are going to deploy the military to do this. That's what we're going to do. That's what he said. He wants to do mass deportation. He was running on it very openly, very loudly, very directly. He said it in all of his rallies. This Joe went from saying this shit to endorsing the mass deportation guy.
God damn.
Look, to be fair, I mean, I've seen over time now, there's a lot of people who were Rogan fans did end up turning on him the more it was a mission creep type thing. It was like, you know, hey, just spouting mostly lefty opinions, and then over time it became a little more right-wing, then a little more right-wing, then a little more right-wing, and then, you know, eventually it was totally hopping on the Trump train, endorsing Trump.
That's literally how it happened. It's slowly. It's like, oh, I like Bernie Sanders. Oh, then he starts talking to Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh and all these fucking evil pieces of shit.
But where'd this guy go? Hey, Duncan Trussell, you better get back into that Rogan podcast and talk to your boy, right?
Yo, Duncan, where you at? I think Duncan gave up, bro. Duncan gave up on this. He's like, this mission's too intense.
Duncan Trussell, help your man out here. Because I think Duncan being more on the left made it so Joe was more on the left, right? But when you're surrounded all day, every day, by edgy right-leaning comedians who say edgy right-leaning shit, and you're surrounded by Dana White, who's a hardcore Republican, and that's the water you swim in, it becomes, you know, the other perspective is just totally out of the picture now for him. Totally out of the picture. But this is one of the leftiest lefty rants I've ever heard. It doesn't get more lefty than this. I mean, he was literally making an argument against just deportations there.
Yup.
Right? It wasn't even just the family separation shit. It was more wide-ranging than that. It was an overarching argument about, like, hey, it's kind of fucked up to take somebody who's a good person who's just working hard and trying to get by and making the country better. It's kind of fucked up to just take that person and deport him. He went on to endorse.
That's not very godly if you guys are Christians. For you Christians out there, I made a whole stream about, like, Christianity and how, like, they say so many, like, socialist, communist things and, like, are so lefty in like, the way Jesus talks. There's a whole stream about that. If you guys want to check it out. It's called Jesus is a True Comrade or something. But, like, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you can't be a real Christian following the book by law and, like, Jesus's words. Like, I know God has, like, struck down cities and shit, Sodom and Gomorrah, and, like, killed people and stuff. But Jesus is pretty cool. So if you follow him, you can't be a fucking Trump supporter. I'm sorry.
The mass deportation guy. So, again, one more time. I know you guys have seen this one, but it really just puts everything into perspective. This is what Joe used to sound like.
I really believe if Michelle Obama runs, she wins.
She's good.
She's great. She's the wife of the best president that we have had in our lifetime. I've never voted right-wing in my life. I consider universal basic income a really good idea. I want free college education.
Take it easy.
Hello, Bernie.
How are you, Joe?
Wonderful. Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I like Tulsi and I like Bernie. That's it.
Oh, yeah?
Everybody else can eat shit.
Look at you, fucking progressive.
Yeah. I think I'll probably vote for Bernie. I think he's looking out for the interests of the working people. And I think he wants people to have a better life and do better. And I'm all for that. And if that means I have to pay more in tax, like people think, oh, you're a socialist. I've heard people say that. Oh, you're a fucking socialist, bro. Like, first of all, he's not even a socialist. He's a democratic socialist. It's a different thing. I would like to spend more in taxes if they could fix inner city communities and take these poor
True. I love everything he's saying right here.
neighborhoods and throw a fuckload of spend more, you fucking Republican piece of shit. 87% of scientists said that human activity is driving global warming. I'm very pro-choice. I'm very women's rights, civil rights, gay rights, trans rights. I'm even universal health care. Obviously, this protected status is driving me crazy. This thing that Trump's doing with children that were born in other countries and then brought over here as children, and then they're talking about deporting them. That drives me fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's
that kind of shit. And the hard right version of that is despicable. These people that I see online, why didn't they apply for citizenship? Oh, who knows? Maybe because they're fucking 13. I don't give a fuck if they broke the law. You don't take parents and kids and separate them. You just fucking don't. You know Lonzo?
No, who's that?
A funny comedian.
Yeah.
He goes, not all Donald Trump supporters are racist, but all racists are Donald Trump supporters.
Yeah.
that he definitely awakened that side.
But the January 6th thing is important.
See, it is important,
And
but is it the 6 months later? It should be the ruling number one conversation of
I
journalists?
think it's really important. And one of the reasons why I think it's important because it highlights the reasons why a guy like Donald Trump is so fucking dangerous. Is because a guy can incite a bunch of morons to do something really fucking stupid. As far as trans
Where is the corpse of that Joe Rogan at? Where did they hide this Joe Rogan at? The Joe Rogan we have right now is a fucking robot. It's a pro-capitalist robot. Pro-establishment. Where is this Joe Rogan, guys?
some trans people listening to this, I got nothing but love for you, for everybody. And in fact, Eddie Izzard is one of my all-time favorite guests.
Oh, I love Izzard.
The right-wing thing is just an easy way to dismiss me, because I'm not right-wing. I can't recommend your book, Race Matters, enough.
The people who were criticizing Joe as being right-wing were correct. They were right. They were right. You say all this, then you endorse the guy who believes in the opposite. You endorse the guy who massively cut taxes for the wealthy, which, by the way, Joe's very wealthy, right? Joe's very wealthy. But Trump's the guy who lost 200,000 manufacturing jobs on his watch. He presided over a loss of 2.9 million jobs. 3 million people lost their health insurance under Trump. 50 million gained it under Democrats. He appointed more billionaires and Wall Street CEOs than any president in history. He filled the NLRB with union busters, who, of course, went on to screw workers. His Labor Department stiffed 8 million workers of overtime pay.
Yup.
You guys all know the pro-war stuff, increasing drone strikes over 400%, bombing Syria twice, bombing Somalia, trying to coup Venezuela, ripping up the Iran agreement. So he endorsed the guy who represents the opposite of every single thing you just heard him say here.
Joe Rogan is basically a big-ass liar. He's like, I'm anti-war. I like Trump. I'm anti-capitalist billionaires. I like Trump. It's like, bro, what? You make no fucking sense, dude. You're just you got bought off by Spotify or by like other Ben Shapiro or Daily Wire or whoever goes on your show.
So I'll ask you guys, what's your theory, right? What the hell happened? What happened to this guy? What happened?
I think what happened, guys, if you really want me to be honest, I think somebody murdered Joe Rogan with a silenced pistol. And they hid his body in Central Park. And then they made a clone of Joe Rogan that's more capitalist than pro-capital. And then he took over the show. And now he's spreading right-wing sympathy. Oh, it's a perfect plan. Perfect plan.
I mean, from the other day, what we learned is the COVID thing really did sort of break his brain. All the COVID stuff, the media shitting on him. He really, at that moment, he really sort of cocooned himself more in a right-wing echo chamber to people who would defend him. And just ended up going hard right and pro-Trump, you know? So I think the COVID thing was a big part of it. And I think being in that echo chamber where everybody around him agrees on Trump being good, wore him down over a while. Wore him down. But suffice to say, this dude is long gone now. Holy shit, is he long gone. Because you literally can't claim, I believe in these things, but then also support Trump. Because Trump, very clearly, his record and the stuff he says he wants to do is all totally separate values, totally different values. It's the polar opposite. In fact, Joe had on somebody who was like giddy and laughing and giggling over the fact that Trump wants to declare war on the drug cartels. Start a war with Mexico.
Ha!
And Rogan was sitting there and vibing with the conversation and giggling himself and joking around and saying, oh, shit's going to get wild soon with Trump in office, right? So in other words, Trump's position is, let's massively increase the drug war. Let's double down on it. Let's triple down on it. Let's make the drug war more violent. Joe Rogan of just a year ago or 2 years ago, he would have said, this is the exact wrong approach. You should legalize, tax, and regulate drugs. You should get rid of
the incentive.
All these drugs being on the black market, because with it being on the black market, that's where you get the gangsters, that's where you get the thugs, that's where you get the cartels, that's where you get the increase in crime, that's where you get the tainted substances. If you legalize, tax, and regulate, you take away their monopoly, and we're good. But instead, he endorsed Trump. Trump's talking about increasing the drug war, make a literal hot war with Mexico, and he all of a sudden, he's got no objection to it.
It's not like Joe Rogan cares.
So even his most deeply held beliefs, effectively backing off of it because he endorsed Trump. It's really sad. It's really, really sad. It's shameful. But hey, to all the people who are former Joe Rogan fans, who after a while had enough, you're more than welcome here, bro. I don't do a show exactly like he does a show. Obviously, it's a little more newsy. It's one-on-one type stuff for the most part. But you're welcome here because I get it. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.
There we go. I'm just fixing the chat. Now let's move on to the next one, which is Secular Talk. Joe Rogan's Trump cuckery hits astronomical levels.
Oh boy, make it stop, y'all. Please, please make it stop. So we got some more Joe Rogan silliness here, and it has gone beyond humiliating at this point with how much he has bent the knee to MAGA and genuflected at the altar of Trump and Trumpism. So let's start with this clip here. Look at what Rogan has planned for the podcast coming up, I guess relatively soon. Watch.
Are we doing Mar-a-Lago?
Yeah, we have to.
Hey, we have to.
We have to. We helped Trump get elected.
Yo, I got a special January 14th. Are we doing...
Let's do
can
Blow
we
It
get
Don
together?
Jr.
When do you finish shooting?
Well, maybe.
Apparently, this guy Ari Shafir, once he ran down a road in Israel yelling the N-word for like no reason, apparently, because that country's super racist.
Maybe we do that at Mar-a-Lago.
Ooh, what?
No,
Can
we
get
have
Trump
to wait until he
do a
gets in.
walk-on?
We have to wait until he gets
Trump's
in.
obviously gonna walk on, dude.
Yeah.
There's a camera, the bro.
100%. He's gonna walk on if we do
Let's
Mar-a-Lago.
do it and play it the day after, or right then.
We talked about it on the podcast, and Don Jr. reached out to me. He said I can make that happen.
I
Holy
posted a
shit.
support of Tony Hinchcliffe, and Don Jr. was like, I love it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
John Jr. recognized us. We're little schoolgirls. This is so pathetic.
Oh.
We can make it happen.
So in other words, Rogan is taking his podcast to Mar-a-Lago. Let me ask you guys a question.
Great.
If there was a comedian who decided, I'm going to snuggle up to Joe Biden, or I'm going to snuggle up to Kamala Harris, I'm going to get buddy-buddy with them and go to events with them and go to their fucking giant vacation home / White House of the South, how would these guys talk about it? What would they say? My guess is they would say, you're barely a comedian at all anymore, and you're a total partisan hack, and you're just snuggling up to power, and it's embarrassing, and this is not what comedy's supposed to be about. But when when Joe and his buddies go to Mar-a-Lago, it's Don Jr. liked my tweet. Oh, this is so pathetic. This is a guy who went from supporting Bernie Sanders to this. Look, we've given Bill Maher tons of shit because he went from Bernie in 2016 to Amy Klobuchar in 2020. Well, guess what? This is 10 times worse than that.
Yeah, you can't do that.
From Bernie all the way to Trump.
You can't go from fucking Bernie, a left-winger, to like a fucking right-winger. Ah, Jesus.
Somebody who represents...
You can't even go from like Bernie to like a Kamala Harris. Look, they lost. Kamala lost. The only reason why Biden won last time was because COVID was a big-ass issue and people died.
Exact opposite ideology from everything you claim to believe in? So look, I think it's undeniable at this point. When you look at Rogan, I'm sorry, but he's much more like Rush Limbaugh than he is like George Carlin. George Carlin tried to speak truth to power. George Carlin has that famous clip when he went on CNN and he talks about how, yeah, Andrew Dice Clay, okay, yeah, he's a comedian. He can say whatever he wants to say, but also let's call a spade here. He likes to punch down. I like to punch up. I like to go after the wealthy and the powerful and the people who control the country. That's what I do. So he's really not my cup of tea. Right? And so here's Joe snuggling up to Trump, much more like Rush Limbaugh than like George Carlin. You're not an outsider telling the truth. You are directly in the halls of power among the people who make decisions that affect the entire country. And by the way, every time across the board, they're bad decisions. Congrats. You're with the guy who cuts taxes for the wealthy and corporations and deregulates and gets rid of environmental protections. Congratulations. I'm sure Joe's happy about that tax cut he's going to get, though. I'm sure he's happy about that. You're with a guy
I
who
bet
had
he is.
a horrifically...
I bet Joe Rogan is so happy about all the shit that's about to happen, dude. I hope all these people eat shit and die. I hope they eat shit and pie. Yeah.
Pro-war first term as you and all your friends pretend like he's anti-war. All right, I'm not done. Here we go. I got more for you. This is where Rogan's got a big brain thought, bro, about how everything you've ever heard about Trump is a psyop, bro. It's a psyop, bro. Here we go.
What you're seeing with Trump,
Which
regardless
one?
of his
Yeah.
flaws, what you're seeing with Trump, regardless of flaws, is a massive, concentrated psyop. They've distorted who he is.
They distorted who he is. Did you distort
Who's
who he
they?
is when you had him on the podcast?
Who's they, Joe? Is this some Is this some anti-Jewish shit? Is some anti-Semitism you throwing out, huh? Also, you talk shit about Trump all the time, bro.
Podcast and gave him a fucking hot stone massage in front of the country? Was that you distorting who he is? When he said to you that he never said, I never said lock her up about Hillary. The crowd would stay it and I'd go, whoa, whoa, whoa. Was that you distorting who he is by not pushing back on that obvious bullshit? Is that what that was? No, when you sit there and play patty cakes with the man, somehow you're giving people the truth more so than the media that's critical. And look, to be fair, of course the media has been wrong plenty of times. But the fact of the matter is, at this late date, mainstream media is 20 times more solid than Joe Rogan is. You get more information and facts from even the worst mainstream media outlets than you do from Rogan when he plays patty cakes with Trump and J.D. Vance. He just had a venture capitalist billionaire on, Mark Andreessen, who lied to his face repeatedly about the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and said it does the opposite of what it actually does. This guy said, bro, they debank at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. No, they don't. They literally prevent debanking. They fight debanking. This is one of the best government agencies we have. And Rogan sat there like a moron going, whoa, what do they do? Is that what they do? No, Joe. There's a venture capitalist billionaire lying to your fucking face because he wants to dismantle the regulatory state so he can make more profit.
I'm pretty sure the Financial Protection Bureau like gives people their money back if they've been scammed by like corporations. But Joe Rogan believes anything. Guys, I'm gonna take a quick break. I will be right back. Do not worry. Do not threat.
La vara acento quiero, conocen palmas de mi fuero. La vara acento mío.
La vara acento unido,
Bro, that spicy food's fucking me up.
So him and his buddies can run out the back door with all the fucking money. Jesus Christ, this is embarrassing. What's a psyop at this point, Joe, is your show. To pretend like the right is somehow anti-establishment and pro-worker and anti-corruption and anti-war. That's the psyop. The psyop is this bullshit that Trump is actually cool. Don't look at his record. Don't look at his record. The vibes are on point, and we love vibes. Yeah, real fucking intellectual.
To the point where most people think that way. Most people think that way. They've had narratives.
What is a psyop?
They had narratives. As if Rogan show, definitely not narrative humpers. They definitely haven't shit on wokeness for 478 days straight in a row, making the same point to each other's faces relentlessly. Yeah, no narrative humpers there.
Psychological operation where they've decided to distort people's perceptions of things.
Yeah, when you tell like an older liberal that like the Obama deportations were higher than the Trump deportations, they go, no, what? No.
Wait for this. Wait for this point. This is amazing to me. Zero self-awareness among any of these fucking monkeys. Zero. Wait for it. Listen to the point he makes. Then I'll tell you the reality.
Oh, and you go, no, let me just Google deportations Obama versus Trump, and you go, it's lower. They go, wait, what? Like, here's 19 straight articles saying that I'm right. And they go, that doesn't make sense. And you go, right. Focus on what's giving you the reality of the world.
Check this out. Jamie, go to that Hillary Clinton thing that I texted you today.
JMO.
This one is wild. This is Hillary Clinton in like 2008. And Hillary Clinton saying some wild MAGA type shit about.
Oh, she used to say the wildest shit.
Wildest shit about illegal immigrants. Go. Back from the beginning. Do it from the beginning. It's okay. Do it from the beginning. But I want to hear it.
We got to have tough conditions. Tell people to come out of the shadows. If they've committed a crime, deport them. No questions asked. They're gone. If they...
She's a Republican.
If they've been working and are law-abiding, we should say, here are the conditions for you staying. You have to pay a stiff fine because you came here illegally. You have to pay back taxes.
These are liberals. Do you guys not know what a liberal is? A liberal is somebody who also doesn't like the wants to close the border, doesn't want to really change things in capitalism. She's a fucking liberal, dude.
And you have to try to learn English.
You have to wait in line. You have to wait in line. And everybody's cheering. 2008. Hillary Clinton was more MAGA than Trump.
She was a Republican.
But how about that?
Wow.
She's more MAGA than Trump.
And then
it's
you couldn't
all
believe
a
that if you watched the news.
illusion. It's all a fucking illusion.
It's all a fucking illusion, he says. Joe, who are the people who've been screaming from the top of their lungs this entire time that Democrats are actually very conservative on the border? Who's been screaming that? It's been liberals. It's been leftists. I've pointed that out on this show 5,000 times. And you know what the response is from MAGA and little Trump cucks? Their response is, Democrats are in favor of open borders, bro. They open the borders, bro. They open the borders, bro. They open the borders, bro. And I've been pulling my hair out going, you fucking idiots, go to the record. Obama was called the deporter-in-chief. He deported more than Trump. You ready for this, Joe? You know who else deported more than Trump? I hope you're sitting down. I hope you and all your buddies are sitting down. You know who deported more than Trump? Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. They deported more than Trump, both as a raw number and as a percentage. More people got in the country, but that's because there was a massive surge of immigrants because we're post-COVID. During COVID, nobody was doing shit. But Biden and Kamala Harris deported more people, both as a raw number and a percentage. I've been screaming that fact. Other lefties have been screaming that fact. And the response from all of your fucking idiot MAGA buddies has been, bro, the Democrats are for open borders. That's not true. The Democrats are for open borders. That's not true. So who's really full of shit? Who's really not telling the truth? Who's really a narrative humper? It's all you guys. It's all you guys. I can't tell you the number of liberals and leftists who have said that point over and over, that Obama deported more and Biden and Harris deported more. But you guys all said you're for open borders. No. So in other words, all the shit you guys push on your show on a regular basis is completely untrue, and you don't know the first fucking thing about policy. None of them do. So let me make this as simple as possible. Donald Trump massively cut taxes for the wealthy and corporations. Donald Trump, his time in office, we lost 200,000 manufacturing jobs, and this is a guy who ran as if he was anti-outsourcing, as if he was going to protect your jobs. Remember the Carrier Factory fiasco? Go read about that if you haven't seen it. Trump made a big show, I'm protecting these jobs. Within a year, all the jobs were outsourced. And so they outsourced the jobs. And by the way, they robbed the taxpayers because Trump gave them a subsidy to keep the jobs here. They kept the money and then they outsourced the jobs anyway. He was a failure on jobs, a failure. In fact, he presided over a net loss of 2.9 million jobs his time in office. You want to know what else happened, Joe? 3 million people under Trump lost their health insurance.
Yup.
Under Democrats, for all of their flaws, 50 million people gained health insurance. The idea that he's anti-establishment. He appointed more billionaires and Wall Street CEOs than any president in history. And that was his first term. For his second term, the people he picked for his cabinet and his transition team, they're worth over $300 billion. This is class war. They don't give a fuck about working people. They don't care in the slightest about working people. They're in there for themselves, to protect their wealth, to protect their power, and give themselves more wealth and more power.
For real. Preach, Kyle, preach.
He filled the NLRB with union busters. Not that Joe even knows what the NLRB is. His labor department stiffed 8 million workers of overtime pay. And I haven't even said anything yet about foreign policy, like the massive increase in drone strikes, 432%. Meanwhile, everybody online, Obama, the drone president, Obama was terrible with drones. Let's bring up that point about Obama every 7 fucking seconds. And nobody say anything ever when it comes to Trump, even though Trump was objectively worse when it came to drones. I guess you should endorse him, right? I guess you should endorse. You were mad at Obama for all the drone strikes. Trump did way more drone strikes and killed way more civilians. But I guess I should endorse this guy because something, he's anti-war. He bombed Syria multiple times. He bombed Somalia. He ripped up the Iran agreement. He tried to coup Venezuela. I'm so sick of this fucking politics by vibes. Oh, it's a psyop, bro. It's a psyop. Your show is a fucking psyop. To pretend like Trump and Republicans are anti-establishment. What a joke. What a fucking joke. I still think I'm not done yet. Yeah, I think I got one more. Here we go. So this is a little bit of a change of pace here. Rogan is going to point out that Zelensky wanted to come on his show because Rogan went viral recently for a clip talking about how Ukraine is now firing some long-range missiles into Russia. And Joe went on this rant where he's basically like, we're on the brink of World War III. Hey, fuck you, man, for firing those rockets.
Fuck you, Russia. He's like, fuck you, Ukraine. Fuck you, Ukraine. It's your fault. That's basically what he said. He was like, fuck you, Ukraine. Oh, it's your fault. It's your fault we're in this. Not that it's Russia's fault and Trump that talks to Russia behind the scenes and Elon Musk who talks to Russia behind the scenes and Trump who talks to Netanyahu behind the scenes and all these motherfuckers are cooperating and working together to fuck the whole world over. Not that. It's Ukraine's fault.
Fuck you. This is what Rogan said. This went viral online. A bunch of people literally from Ukraine and pro-Ukrainian people were like, we got invaded by Russia illegally and we're fighting back and you're saying fuck you to us? That was their reaction. So here's what Joe had to say.
I hope it's true. I hope it's true.
They're
Trying to come up with some sort of a... Zelensky tried to come on.
Whoa!
Yeah, they tried to get Zelensky on. I was like, what are you talking about?
When you get an offer for somebody, they must come at your bookers or whatever. Do you like stop and like, hold on, let me think about this, whether I want to be part of the story 100%. Or not, whether it'll be interesting or not?
Well, I wanted to stay out of the presidential election shit.
Yeah.
I wanted to stay out of the presidential thing, so I endorsed Trump right before the election and helped him win. I wanted to stay out, but I did the exact opposite of staying out. And so if you couldn't tell from this, he turned down Zelensky. Now, look, I'm in favor of getting all sides of the story, right? You want to have on Dave Smith to give his take? Sure, no problem with that whatsoever. But to not have on Zelensky, Joe, why would you not have on Zelensky? He's a world leader.
Bro, Joe Rogan is literally a psyop, guys.
Of a country that just got illegally and offensively invaded by Russia. Why would you not have on Zelensky? I think we all know that answer, right? The answer is Joe is completely and utterly audience captured, and his audience doesn't want to hear that side of the story. They don't want to hear it. Now, if you say, hey, Kyle, you're wrong, I don't believe that, what happened when Joe basically said, look, I'm not that hot on Trump, but I really like RFK. And this was when RFK was still running in the race and he was against Trump and Biden. Remember that? RFK was still in the race. And Joe, in so many words...
Yeah, Joe Rogan's audience, like, flipped shit on Joe. They went crazy.
Said, yeah, I kind of support RFK. I'm definitely not with Biden. And I don't like Trump as much as I like RFK. This is what he said. What happened? His audience went fucking ape shit. Ape shit. And Joe reversed course. We saw this with Kyle Rittenhouse, too, right? When he said, I can't vote for Trump because I don't think he's good enough on the Second Amendment. MAGA went ape shit. And then Kyle Rittenhouse came out the next day and fucking fell in line. Got bullied into submission. Rogan got bullied into submission when it was clear he liked RFK more than Trump. So he knows, hey, if I have on Zelensky, and Zelensky makes his case about how Ukraine was illegally and offensively invaded by Russia, and we're just fighting back in the same way that anybody in America would fight back if fucking China invaded us or anybody invaded us, we would want to fight to the last fucking man. We wouldn't want to give away our territory, right? So Zelensky wants to come on and make that case. No, he doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't want to hear it because his audience wouldn't fucking like it. That's why. So tell me again about PSYOPs, Joe. Tell me again about PSYOPs. Tell me who's weaving a narrative. I love this idea that people in fake independent media are we're above the fray, bro. That's what we are. We tell the truth. We don't get caught up in narratives. We don't get caught up in contrarianism. We aren't way too online. We aren't objectively worse at figuring out facts. These people know nothing about policy. Nothing. Literally nothing. Nothing. Mainstream media is not great on policy either, but fake independent media is even fucking worse. They're worse. It's politics by vibes. And everybody should declare war on politics by vibes. Because we got to be smarter than that. We got to be better than that. It's got to be, tee-hee-hee, this candidate makes me feel a certain way, tee-hee-hee. Okay, what are we, fucking 12? What are we, 12? What are we talking about, your first middle school crush? Is that how we decide the fate of the country and the fate of the future of the world? Is that what we do? Have fun at Mar-a-Lago. Have fun at Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, go fuck off.
It'll be real interesting.
Go fuck off, Joe Rogan. Go invite like Kyle. Go invite fucking Ethan Klein on your show. Joe Rogan, you idiot. You know what? Let's check out this one.
All right, guys, welcome to the show. Welcome. I got a bold outfit going on today, man. I am curious what your guys' thoughts are on my outfit.
Kyle, you look beautiful, brother. It matches your hair. I like the difference of color here, the orangey a bit.
Do you like it? Do you dislike it?
Is that salmon? Is that salmon color? You did good, man.
Is it mid? Because I know it's sort of bold, but I can't lie. I sort of like it.
It looks good.
So anyway, comment on that below. But I got a lot of stuff to get to today. So in just a second, we are going to talk about the real reason why Rogan went full MAGA. And this is according to Rogan, straight out of his mouth. And it is perhaps not the reason you're thinking. So we'll talk about that. We also have an interesting segment which I think really explains the secret appeal of Trump and why he ended up winning the election. Then we'll get to Trump's new crypto scam. We have Republican congressman slipped up and said the quiet part out loud and told everybody what their real plans are. And then later on, North Carolina Republicans just rigged the rules and went full authoritarian. And I got to give you the specifics on that. So without any further ado, we'll jump into it in just a second. You guys know the drill. Please subscribe to the channel. That helps out big time and costs you nothing. And, of course, much love to everybody who supports this show on Patreon. Genuinely couldn't do it without you guys. So if you want to donate $2 a month or $5 a month or whatever, it helps. Remember, guys, we are real independent media. We are not fake independent media. I've never talked to a billionaire. I've never talked to a foreign government. I've never done any ad reads. I'm very proud of that fact. You guys help fund this show from the ground up, and I'm very, very thankful. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into it. So Rogan, on one of his recent podcasts, had a moment here where he explained what made him snap and go full MAGA. And as I already pointed out, it is not the thing you're thinking. All right, let's listen.
Well, I wanted to stay out of the presidential election shit.
Yeah,
it's gross. Because I feel like I had to. I feel like this is so nuts. This is so nuts. When that Tim Walz guy, it's so nuts that guy was going to be the vice president. You're telling me, you're telling me this whole thing's fake then. You're telling me you don't care if someone's a liar. You don't care if they lied about their military rank, where they served. You don't care if they lie about being an assistant. You don't care if they lie about Tiananmen Square. There's too many things. This is so crazy. You would get fired if you were an assistant manager at a fucking oil changing company.
Yeah.
The number one reason why he flipped and went full MAGA is Tim Walz.
Oh, my God.
And he says because Tim Walz is such a horrible liar. My brother in Christ, you endorsed Donald Trump, who literally told, I believe the exact number is 30,573 lies his first term in office. There was a big Washington Post analysis done, and that's the
God damn, Washington Post.
number they came to. And let me be extra kind here, because I know what Rogan would say. Washington Post is basically fake news at this point. New York Times is basically fake news. They're all fake news. Okay. Let's be kind and cut that number in half. Let's cut it in more than half. Let's say he just told 15,000 lies, and the other lies are all ones that, you know, it was a gray area, and they said it was a lie, but it couldn't be interpreted as not a lie or whatever. Okay, let's grant all that. 15,000 lies in 4 years, which likely makes him the most prolific liar ever in modern American politics. By the way, Trump lied directly to Joe's face, and Joe knew it, and he didn't care. He didn't care. He said to Joe's face, you know, when my rally crowds would say, lock her up, talking about Hillary, I said, whoa, hold on now. I said, whoa, hold on. So he pretended like lock her up wasn't one of his campaign slogans and wasn't something he said on a regular basis. We've showed the compilations. On this channel, we showed you the compilations of Trump repeatedly saying lock her up, talking about Hillary Clinton. You think Rogan doesn't know that Trump said lock her up? He knows that. Another part he lied directly to his face, talking about the trying to overturn the last election, talking about election fraud, talking about how he thinks he won the 2020 election. And Rogan said, let me ask you about that. And by the way, I'm going to give you space. Nobody lets you finish talking on this, so I'm going to back up and let you and give you the floor so that you can, make your whole case. And of course, he made the dumbest fucking case imaginable. Of course, it was a lie that he won the 2020. Are you kidding me? They literally did an audit in the state of Arizona, and Biden won by more than what we thought he won by on election day. Every one of their cases crumbled. There was over
got thrown out. Throw out those cases, Judge.
60 cases. Most of them didn't even have standing because it was so preposterous and so absurd. When Rudy Giuliani got in front of a judge to try to make the case the election was fraudulent, he literally said, we're not alleging fraud, because he knows they can't do it. The 2000 Mules documentary, which was the Dinesh D'Souza attempt to prove that the 2020 election was stolen, Dinesh D'Souza just had to come out and issue an apology and admit that his whole thing was fucking bullshit. This just happened the other day. Now, is Joe going to talk about this at any extended length? Remember when he came out after the election when Trump won and he was like, oh, it turns out voting works. Yeah, you don't say. So you're admitting Trump lied to your face, and that didn't change your view of him and your estimation of him. That didn't change your endorsement of him. Look, can we be honest here? The fact is, when Trump lies, he's a bull in a china shop. He doesn't stop. He will double down, he will triple down, he will quadruple down. And that makes it so a lot of people, like Joe Rogan, the vibe they get from Trump is, oh, he must mean it. He must think he's right because he's so aggressive and he's so obnoxious and he's so over the top and he's so sure of himself. So in other words, Donald Trump, by any standard, is 17 times the liar, more than that, than Tim Walz is. But Tim Walz, since Tim Walz is a bad liar, it's like, oh, well, I'm just going to label him as that and move on. I mean, this is astonishing stuff, man. This is truly, truly astonishing stuff. The neocon thing, right? Joe asked him, hey, did you make some mistakes in your first term by maybe picking the neocons when you shouldn't have? And Trump was basically like, yeah, maybe, yeah, kind of. Then he went on within like, a month. He went on to pick like 7 new neocons. So it was another lie to your face. If it was a mistake, why did you go on to pick more of them? Trump, why'd you do that? And Joe's totally not curious about that. Doesn't bring up again, oh, hey, wow, look, he's picking neocons again. That seems bad.
Yeah, Joe doesn't give a shit, dude. He, like I said, he's bought and paid for, man.
Didn't do it. Didn't do it. And by the way, even the fucking lies he directly points to about Tim Walz, this is way, way overstated. Oh, he lied about his rank. No, he didn't. He got the promotion, and then he said, you know what, I'm gonna back out here. But the only reason he didn't achieve that rank officially is because he didn't fill out some fucking paperwork. On the Tiananmen Square thing, like, he was there like a couple weeks before or a month before, or it was like a couple weeks after or a month after. He was there right around the time when there were pro-democracy protests going on, but he wasn't there specifically for the event at Tiananmen Square. The idea that this is like a deal breaker, and then by the way, in the debate, he was asked about this, Tim Walz, and his answer was bad. You could tell he's a horrible liar. He's not used to lying. He's not comfortable when he does it. The very next question was to J.D. Vance about the 2020 election and whether or not he would admit that Trump lost it, and J.D. Vance didn't admit it, and he dodged the question. And he said some bullshit about, like, censorship on Facebook. And Rogan gave him credit for that answer, thinking it was a good answer. There's a fucking pure brazen liar right in front of your face, Joe, and you didn't even hold it against him. You didn't hold it against him to be a bigger liar and a bolder liar, and you have to double down, quadruple down, and never admit ever. And then because you have of confidence, he'll go, oh, this is a serious person who I like and who I should endorse. See, this is what I mean when I say he does politics by vibes. Because remember, guys, here are the politics that Joe Rogan says he has from his own mouth. Listen to this. You've heard this before, but this is super important. Listen to the things he says he believes in, what his values are, and what his policy preferences are. And then I'm going to tell you a thing or two about Tim Walz.
I really believe if Michelle Obama runs, she wins.
She's good.
She's great. She's the wife of the best president that we have had in our lifetime. I've never voted right-wing in my life. I consider universal basic income a really good idea. I want free college education.
Take it easy.
Hello, Bernie.
How are you, Joe?
Wonderful. Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I like Tulsi and I like Bernie. That's it.
Oh, yeah?
Everybody else can eat shit.
Look at you, fucking progressive.
Yeah. I think I'll probably vote for Bernie. I think he's looking out for the interests of the working people. And I think he wants people to have a better life and do better. And I'm all for that. And if that means I have to pay more in tax, like people think, oh, you're a socialist. I've heard people say that. Oh, you're a fucking socialist, bro. Like, first of all, he's not even a socialist. He's a democratic socialist. It's a different thing. I would like to spend more in taxes if they could fix inner city communities and take these poor neighborhoods and throw a fuckload of them. Spend more, you fucking Republican piece of shit. 87% of scientists said that human activity is driving global warming.
I'm very pro-choice. I'm very women's rights, civil rights, gay rights, trans rights.
I'm even universal health care.
Obviously, this protected status is driving me crazy. This thing that Trump's doing with children that were born in other countries and then brought over here as children, and then they're talking about deporting them. That drives me fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's
and the hard right version of that is despicable. These people that I see online, why didn't they apply for citizenship?